What's up, Kings Nation? Zosby here, and today I'm bringing you the weekly predictions. And we're in the playoffs, round one. But before we get to round one of the playoffs, we have to go back and look at the last week of the regular season, see how many we got right and how many we got wrong. So let's start with the first game: Ravens versus the Bengals, and the Bengals won this game like, bruh, did they? But we got that one wrong. So, Texans versus the Titans. We got that one wrong. This isn't looking so great. Panthers versus the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers barely pulled it out, so we got that one correct. Browns versus the Steelers. The Steelers barely pulled it out, so we got that one correct. Cowboys versus the Eagles. And we got that one wrong. Bills versus the Jets. The Bills dumbass started EJ Manuel, so yeah, I didn't know that, so I got that one wrong. Bears versus the Vikings. The Vikings definitely won that one, so we got that one correct. Jags versus the Colts. The Jaguars let them come back. Got that one wrong. Patriots versus the Dolphins. I picked the Patriots, got that one correct. Chiefs versus the Chargers. I picked the Chargers, got that one correct. Rams versus the Cardinals, picked the Cardinals, and the Cardinals won. Raiders versus the Broncos, I picked the Broncos, and the Broncos won. Giants versus the Redskins, we picked the Giants, and the Giants won. Seahawks versus the Niners, we picked the Seahawks, they barely won, so we got that one correct. Saints versus the Falcons, we picked the Falcons, got that one correct. And Packers versus the Lions, we picked the Packers and got that one correct. So this started off bad, but we only ended up getting 5 wrong, right? Yeah, 5 wrong, which should be 11 and 5. Let me double check that. Yeah, 11 and 5, making the overall record 87 and 36. Yeah, 87 and 36. So let's go ahead and get into round one of the playoffs. Now, this should be short and easy because it's only 4 games. But I think I might keep the playoff record as a separate record from like the regular season record. I don't know yet. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into these games. Now, okay. None of these games are an easy game. None of them. None of them at all. So, let's go ahead and get to this Raiders versus Texans game. Now, this game, most people think is going to be a Texans win since the Raiders are using Connor Cook. But I've actually watched Connor Cook play, and I think he could lead them to win. But, like, at the same time, it's like, okay, do you really expect a rookie to win his first playoff game? So, like, this one's 50-50, and I'm kind of torn because you could go the Texans route, but, you know, their QB situation isn't much better than the Raiders. But the Raiders did just lose to the Broncos. So, for that reason solely, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Texans on this one. Just because of the Raiders losing to the Broncos. But, wait. Texans and the... Oh, the Texans are coming off of an L too. You know, we're going to come back to that one. Yeah, we're going to come back. Because I'm going to go ahead and erase that because I'm not 100% sure. Alright, Lions versus the Seahawks. See, this one, I'm going to have to give to the Seahawks because the Lions are a good team. But, like, they're not a playoff team, I want to say. Hopefully I don't offend any Lions fan, but just, y'all aren't, I don't think y'all are ready for the playoffs. So we're just going to leave it at that. I picked the Seahawks for this game. Now, Dolphins versus the Steelers. This one's like 55-45 or 60-40. But I want to say, just because the Dolphins are playing without Tannehill, I'm giving this game to the Steelers. If they did have Tannehill, then I'll probably pick the Dolphins. But since they don't, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Steelers. And that's for obvious reasons. No starting QB makes it a harder game. Now, this Giants versus the Packer game is the hardest one to decide because, okay, you have the Giants. Obviously, they can win, right? But then on the flip side, you have the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, who can do almost miraculous shit, right? Because think about it, when this season first started, people didn't have them making the playoffs, but then they ended up clutching up and making it, right? But I'm gonna say this momentum that Aaron Rodgers has from... Hold up, wait. I just thought about something. The Packers don't have any corners. I'm giving this game to the Giants. Now, the reason why I'm giving this game to the Giants, right, is because, one, the Giants don't have any corners. Wait, did I say the Giants don't have... the Packers don't have any corners. And I feel like Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie or Eli Apple will be able to hold Jordy Nelson and the Packers receivers. So I'm going to go ahead and give this game to the Giants, right? So now let's go back to the first game. Raiders versus the Texans. I still do not know. I might have to put an asterisk next to this, but I'm gonna just say it ends in a draw, even though it can't. But Raiders versus the Texans. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Raiders. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Raiders just because I feel like their defense is just gonna step up in this game and just demolish the Texans' offensive enough to where it doesn't even matter about the Raiders' offense. But, yeah, that's what I'm going to hope for. Even though they let the Broncos run all over them and all that. But I'm going to say they fixed it this week. It's the playoffs. They fixed it. But if you're in the fantasy playoffs, people you should start... Raiders game, definitely start Latavius Murray because obviously he's going to get more carries since it's a third string QB. They got to work him in. Steelers, definitely start AB and Le'Veon. Packers, start Jordy. Giants, go ahead and start Odell. Dolphins, start Ajayi. Lions, you can go ahead and start what's his face? Golden Tate. And for the Texans, you can go ahead and start Lamar Miller. And for the Seahawks, start their defense. And for the Giants, you can start their defense too. But as always, hope these videos are helping you win whatever you're using them for, your fantasy league, bets, whatever you use them for. I just enjoy making these. So as always, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.